So is he, when he's giving you these tips, on line assignment, just going through the process, whatever it may be, has there been something that's come up this week that he's giving you a tip on that's helped you get through it?
Yeah, definitely. Like the interviews and all that, just be confident, just be myself. That usually works. So he's just something to just have fun with this process and enjoy everything. When it's time to go be a ball player, be a ball player.
How much of his highlights have you gone back and watched ever since you kind of learned your connection to him?
Yeah, as soon as I started playing football, that was the first thing I looked up was his highlights and just saw the stuff that he do. But he's a great catcher of the football. He's a great slot receiver. He can play outside as well. But he's just a guy that's a jack of all trades. That's why he's one of the greatest ever. But he's just a guy that I can look up to and chase as far as like record books and stats and all that. So it's good to have him in my corner and on my team.
It's a pretty high bar that he's set. But that's probably a good thing for you to have a really high bar.
For sure. I told him that my main goal is chasing him when I get in the NFL. So that's a good standard to live by.
Is he giving you tips on, all right, when you get through this process, when you get to the NFL, what to look for, what to be, on your details?
We ain't really got that far yet. He was just having a little college and then this draft process, but I'm sure when I get there, he'll be able to, start advancing that and helping me with that part of the game too, and being in the NFL and stuff like that.
What kind of player are you? How would you describe your play style?
Definitely a big physical, downfield receiver, attacking the ball at the highest point, and then I love to block for running games and running backs, so I'm a friendly guy with the running back, and I'm the guy that, goes between the hashes and makes all those tough catches that not many guys want to do anymore.
That toughness aspect to your game is something that a lot of teams look for in receivers. Where did you kind of develop that, and where did that come from?
I really don't know. I was a basketball guy, so those guys are viewed as soft in this world, so I don't know where it really came from. I think when I just started playing, it just started happening. I played with a real physical high school football team my 1 year, so they used to hit me every day, and I played running back then, so I had this big-time linebacker, Thomas Johnson. He was an unarmed All-American that year, but he used to hit me every day. I felt like I just got used to it, though.
So you kind of play with a bit of a running back mentality?
Definitely, with the ball in my hands, yes, sir.
What do you want teams to learn about you through this process? Where you're doing a ton of interviews, ton of testing, all those things.
I was just, letting them know, especially in the interviews, that I'm just a low-maintenance guy, high performance. Not somebody you got to worry about. But when he gets on the field, he's going to do his job every single time and be the same guy every single day.
When you see Reg this week, what's that interaction with you? Just gonna chat with him, catch up.
It's going to definitely be surreal. It's going to definitely be an opportunity that I've been waiting on having, just getting to see him for the first time, talk to him, and, be face-to-face and just exchange thoughts and see what he thought about how I did in my college career. But it's definitely going to be something I've been waiting on.
So he's your uncle. What's the relation?
Yeah. He's really my cousin, but since he's I don't want to call him old, but he's so much older than me, I call him my uncle.
We'll call him that. Reg is going to love that.
Yeah. I mean, he's been reading it all over, so I think he's been cool with it. But, I call him my uncle.
Have you ever thought I'm sorry if you already been asked this, but have you ever thought of the idea of maybe winding up with the Colts and he's your position coach?
Yeah, somebody was telling me about that it could happen, but I was saying if I do go, I don't want it to be like this guy was a Wayne, he's a Wayne, let's put the same jersey number on him. I feel like it's going to be a lot of pressure, so if I do end up there, I want to have my own little lane that I roll in.
Have you met with the Dolphins yet?
The Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How would that meeting go?
It went good. I feel like they like me a lot, and I asked them if I fit into the program, and they said they asked me if I was fast. I told them yeah, so I would be able to fit in with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, I guess.
And one final thing, and I'm assuming you met with Wes Welker. How cool was that? Like a guy who had
Wes Welker?
Yeah.
I don't think I met him.
You serious?
But
he's a receivers coach. That's why I figured he would.
Oh yeah, I haven't met with him. No, sir.
Jalen, can you talk about your relationship with Kenny Pickett? Have you had? Do you think that your
Kenny Pickett? I didn't play with Kenny Pickett.
Who's the guy going back to South Alabama that we're going to talk to next year?
Definitely Carter Bradley, my quarterback for the past season. He transferred out of Toledo to come to South Alabama, and he really changed my career. I was known as a short, immediate route type of guy, and in this past season I emerged as a deep threat. So I caught a lot of moon balls from him. He's a hell of a quarterback. The way he takes the game and dissects it and just dissects defenses every single week is just different. So he'll definitely be here.
At what point did you realize this guy's going to be the real deal?
Day one. We went out and ran routes on there, his first day there, and he threw me like a dig route, and it went straight in my hands like so perfect, and I was like, yeah, this feels good.
Who was the toughest corner you saw in the game this year?
The toughest corner. I don't feel like I saw a corner that was just like very talented. But Natrone Brooks from Southern Miss, he was just so prepared for that game. He had been watching film, so he was calling out plays, he was calling out formations, just making sure his team was prepared. And it was a little difficult game for a little bit.
Did Reggie have much influence on your career at all?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I was saying earlier that my sophomore year, that's when I first started talking to him in college. And ever since then, he's just been giving me tips on football, giving me tips on how to run routes and dissect defenses and zones and man coverage and stuff like that, and how to differentiate stuff.
You're one of the older guys here. How did those extra years, how did you benefit from having those?
Yeah. So I didn't play much football in high school. So I feel like I've been having to make up for that time while I was in college. I didn't really get to play much early in my career. So I feel like it's a benefit me being older, getting a lot of more experience, a lot more time in college and learning stuff. So I rely on my time in college.
How did being a former basketball player translate to going to wide receiver?
Yeah, definitely. It translates a lot downfield. Like when the ball's in there, I just kind of feel like I'm rebounding the basketball. Just posting up on defenders that are smaller than me, making plays down the field.
Do you feel that's kind of an advantage?
Definitely.
Would you be here if you hadn't had the extra years?
No, not in my opinion.
What feedback have you gotten so far through the draft process?
Feedback? I got a lot of feedback that I didn't really think I was going to get, positively for sure. But a lot of guys just telling me, like you said, toughness and just adding that toughness aspect to my game. I didn't really feel like that was something that people noticed, but also that they noticed that I'm pretty speedy, play down the field, and that I like the block. I didn't feel like people were watching that on my field, but they were.